Okay, and we are live. Welcome back, everybody. This is the First Inning Podcast. I am the BX Bomber, along with Roger, the big Yankee fan. Say hello, Roger.
Hey, BX Bomber. Everything is going pretty good today, and looking forward to an exciting game tonight between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be one hell of a game. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Aaron Judge. I don't know if you saw this, Roger, but after they played the last game in Fenway, when they won that game and the Yankees were leaving the building, Aaron Judge was playing on his speaker, "New York, New York" by Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yes, I did hear about that. He was trolling them basically, and he played Frank Sinatra as he was going past the Boston clubhouse, and that was pretty cool. He was trolling them, my goodness, and looking forward to a very good game tonight. And right now in the second inning, the Indians and Astros are scoreless at this point in time, with Dallas Keuchel pitching for the Astros. And yesterday, the Colorado Rockies were eliminated. They were eliminated by the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Brewers are moving on to the National League Championship Series at this point. And the Braves had a strong 6-5 win over the Dodgers. Acuna hit a grand slam yesterday to make it 5-0 for the Braves.
Yeah,
but then the Dodgers
pulled
up and tied it at 5-5, and then Freddie Freeman, hit a solo shot to give the Braves the 6-5 lead, and the Braves held on and won 6-5. So that series is 2-1 with the Dodgers leading.
Yeah, man, that was a great game, man. With Osuna with that grand slam and all that, and also with the Brewers and the Colorado Rockies, the Rockies were playing horrible, man.
Yeah, they had no offense whatsoever. Their offense disappeared. They were shut out 2 days in a row and only scored 2 runs for the entire series. And their offense really did a vanishing act, and they completely disappeared, and were not hitting with runners in scoring position, and the Brewers made short work of them, and I feel badly for the Rockies, but their offense did not show up.
I don't know what inning it was or what pitcher it was, but the guy made a balk. He was hitting the ball in his glove, and he balked on the bases loaded. I was like, oh my God. And then he threw the ball away. Oh man! And then another run scored. That was when they really was like, let's get this game over with. You know what I mean?
Really. And the weather was terrible in Denver too. It was only about 47 degrees and cold and nasty and rainy, and a very bad day for the Rockies. And so they are out of it now, and the Brewers are going to the National League Championship Series against either the Dodgers or the Braves.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes there. And for tonight's starting lineup, would you like me to get the lineups out of the way?
Yeah, sure. What we got going for today?
Okay, starting with the Red Sox, since they're leading off, is Mookie Betts once again in right field. Batting second will be Andrew Benintendi in left field. Batting third will be the very dangerous J.D. Martinez at DH. Batting fourth will be Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Batting fifth will be Steve Pearce at first base, and batting sixth will be Brock Holt at second base. Batting seventh, Rafael Devers, the young third baseman with a lot of power that hit that home run off of Chapman, is batting seventh. Rafael Devers. Batting eighth is Christian Vasquez, catching tonight. And batting ninth is Jackie Bradley Jr. in center field, and that will be the Red Sox starting lineup tonight. And Nathan Eovaldi is starting for the ex-Yank, is starting for the Red Sox, and has a 16-inning scoreless streak going against the Yankees so far this season. So they are starting Nathan Eovaldi today.
Question: did he pitch against the Yankees when it was cold?
I think he pitched because at that point he was on the Rays at the beginning of the season, and the Rays rehabbed him and then made the trade and traded him to the Red Sox. So it was basically by mid-season, and he made a couple of starts against the Yankees and had quite a bit of success. But I do remember that Eovaldi can get hit, even though he has a high-octane fastball. It's very straight, and I do remember him getting hit pretty hard sometimes.
And I don't believe that kid and I don't believe Nathan Eovaldi could pitch in the cold. And this might be the first game that he pitches in the cold.
Yeah, it could be, because before he was with the Yankees, he was pitching for the Marlins, and then they made the trade, and they picked up Eovaldi at that point. And then when he had to have Tommy John surgery, the Yankees let him go, and the Rays deserve a lot of credit for rehabbing him. But then they traded him away after they did a full job of rehabbing him, and he's pitching for the Red Sox. And as far as the Yankees are concerned for tonight, I have some of the facts in front of me.
What we got?
And it says the state of Aaron Hicks' tight right hamstring is about the only question remaining for manager Aaron Boone as he looks toward his Game 3 lineups. Hicks is expected to return after having an MRI on Saturday in Boston that revealed no strain. If Hicks is unable to play, Brett Gardner would continue to assume those duties in center field. And the Yankees starting lineup is Andrew McCutchen leading off in left field. Batting second will be Aaron Judge in right field. Batting third will be Aaron Hicks in center field, so he is in the lineup. Batting fourth will be Giancarlo Stanton at DH. Batting fifth will be Luke Voigt at first base. Batting sixth will be Didi Gregorius at shortstop. Batting seventh will be Miguel Andujar at third base. Batting eighth will be Gary Sanchez at catcher. And batting ninth will be Gleyber Torres at second base. And the original plan for the Red Sox was to start Rick Porcello today, but they're starting Eovaldi, so Rick Porcello will probably start Game 4 at Yankee Stadium tomorrow.
I don't know, man. First of all, it sounds like a great lineup there. And
oh yeah, the Yankees have a very deep lineup. They just have to play like their baseball cards say they can play.
Yeah, that's it. You know, they got to show up and hit, man, and if they can hit a few home runs like they doing, you know, we can sail on in. And I believe the Yankees could win these 2 games and go on to the next round too, man. I don't think we're going back to Boston.
So.
I don't see us going back.
So.
I really don't see it, man. I don't think we're going back, man, for Game 5. I don't see it.
Not. I would prefer not to go back and have to see Chris Sale again.
Yeah, because I think if we win this game today, we're gonna win tomorrow.
Yes, and for the first 2 games of the Yankee Red Sox series, Game 1 went to the Red Sox when Jay Happ really had a lot of trouble in the first couple of innings and was charged with 5 runs and fell well behind, and the Yankees fell well behind. And then the Yankees tipped away, but the Yankees had a lot of opportunities to score and actually win that game, and that's what made it so frustrating. And they did not hit with runners in scoring position after having many opportunities. And they let that one get away with them, and they lost 5-4. And then for Game 2, once again, the Yankees did not do particularly well with runners in scoring position, moving runners, but they did what they did all season. You know, they hit the home run, and that's pretty much how they play.
Yeah,
and Gary Sanchez hit a 3-run homer and a solo homer, and Aaron Judge also hit a home run. So
we also
by the home run.
Right, but we also won that game because of Eduardo Nunez. He helped us win by those few errors that he made too, that he couldn't throw it to first base. That great. He bounced 2 over there, and got some guys on, and they capitalized on that too. So
exactly,
you know, they've been beating themselves as well, you know, but the Yankees have to capitalize on errors, you know, they really do. And you know what? Yeah. They really played the monster very disgusting those days in Boston too, because they never backed up McCutchen in left field. And Brett Gardner,
Right.
I forgot who it was that got a double off of somebody, but Brett Gardner just stood standing there in center field, and he ran late to go get the ball. You know what I mean? You have
Right.
to be.
McCutcheon did not play that ball off the wall very well. It was too close to the wall at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah. I mean, and for Gardner, knowing that that's how it is, he should have knew better to be there to back him up. You know, and that guy could
Yeah,
have had a single instead of a double. You know, so
exactly. It
there's a
was
lot of
mental
things.
error.
Yeah, and that's not the first time they do that. They've been doing that every game in Fenway. You know, they play
Yeah,
nasty off the wall, and they should already be set up for that. You know,
exactly. I can maybe understand McCutcheon because he probably has not played many games at Fenway Park. You know, he
exactly.
spent a
That's
lot of
another
time
thing.
in the National League.
Yep, he's never played. I don't think he's played in Fenway. That might have been the
Maybe
first
an
time.
interleague. Maybe an interleague, you know, when the East Divisions play one another. You know, he spent a lot of years with the Pirates
Yeah,
and possibly played there in interleague over the past number of years. But he's definitely inexperienced with playing at Fenway Park.
yeah, definitely. And even if he did play there before, you're still not gonna remember it. You know, it's still gonna be like playing like it's your first time there. You know,
Exactly.
so yeah, the Green Monster, man, you got to know how to play that, man, and it's not easy. It's not easy. Not too many people
No,
could play that wall, man. You know.
no, it's very difficult. Very difficult. You have to understand how it bounces off the wall, and that you have to move away. If you feel that it's close enough to make a catch, then you move up. But if you feel it's going to hit the wall, you have to move back towards the infield for an erratic bounce
I'll
and
tell you.
basically handle it that way.
I'll tell you one thing. If you want to learn how to play the Green Monster, you have to watch the games of Manny Ramirez. He was an expert off that wall.
Right. He was.
He knew how to calculate it, man. He was good at that because he was lazy. You know,
Right.
he was
Exactly.
lazy, but he had it. He had a good calculation of the baseball, so he can always catch up to it. You know.
Exactly. He did a pretty decent job playing that. And there's a little bit more on the facts here that I could give you for the Yankees.
What we got?
There, there have been days, if not weeks, or debate in advance of the American League Wild Card game before Boone and the staff finally decided to hand the ball to Severino, who was 19-8 with a 3.39 ERA, citing a high-octane arsenal that could overpower the Athletics' bats in the one-game playoff. Severino gave his club what they needed, striking out 7 over 4 scoreless innings before handing the ball off to the bullpen. So they're going with Severino again tonight. The Yankees will be starting Luis Severino, and Severino did a good job in the American League wild card. So let's hope that he has good location with his slider and changeup and has that high octane fastball going.
Yeah, man. I know it's gonna be crazy in there, man. Boston fans better watch out, man. I don't know what's gonna happen
Yeah.
tonight, man. 'Cause that's gonna get hostile in there, man.
And we should let people know that you'll be headed over to Yankee Stadium to do another one of your live vlogs from outside of Yankee Stadium.
I definitely will be there for the pregame pregame live stream before the game. Yes, sir.
Yes, and I'll be checking it out and checking in on you and giving some comments, and hopefully get a lot of views again. That'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see what happens, man. I don't know if it'll be as crazy, but it should be because Yankees and Red Sox, man. But it's a Monday, so I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be as crazy as the wild card game though, but it could be.
Yeah, you figure the Yankees are in the division series against the Red Sox, and this is the first time the two teams have actually played each other in the playoffs since 2004.
Yeah.
So the Yankees have to pay back the Red Sox from that loss that they had in 2004. I was in the Salvation Army at that time. My mom had just moved down to West Virginia, and I was staying at the Salvation Army for a little while in Elizabeth, New Jersey. and was watching that game with Kevin Brown pitching, and Kevin Brown really spit the bit and did a horrible job in Game 7, and the Red Sox with Johnny Damon really exploded, beating the Yankees, and the Yankees had a 3-games-to-none lead in that series, and including a 19-8 beating of the Red Sox, and the Red Sox came back and won 4 straight, and they're still the only team to come back from a 3-0 deficit.
I think in all of sports, right?
I think so. I don't know about all of sports, but I definitely know about baseball that they are the only team to come back from a 3-zip deficit.
I think it might be them and a hockey team that came back 4-0. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's about it. Yeah. Which
and the year before, it was the Aaron Boone home run that put the Yankees into the World Series against the Marlins, and the Yankees did lose that World Series in 6 games when Josh Beckett, who was very young at the time, shut the Yankees out in Game 6 at Yankee Stadium 2-0, and that was a tough loss in the World Series, but Aaron Boone put the Yankees into that World Series with the home run against the Red Sox in Game 7.
Yeah, man, and then what sucks is we were going to come back next year, and then he was playing basketball with his son, and he cracked his ankle.
I know that ushered in the Alex Rodriguez era, and Alex Rodriguez came in as the Yankees made the move. Alex Rodriguez was rumored to be going to the Boston Red Sox, and it looked like a done deal. And Cashman swept in and brought A-Rod to the Yankees, and that was incredible at the time.
Yeah, and Jeter was a big help to that because Jeter was his friend, one of his good friends in that days, and he was like, well, if you come, if he could, A-Rod said if he go to the Yankees, he'll play third base because he wants to go to the Yankees, and then actually Greg Nettles is the one that taught him how to play third base. So
exactly, he did a lot of tutoring of A-Rod, Greg Nettles.
Yeah, man, Greg Nettles, man. Actually, when I got Greg Nettles' autograph at a fan fest, I said, "Hey, man, thank you for making Alex Rodriguez the greatest third baseman ever."
Oh wow, what did he say?
He didn't say nothing. He was stunned. He just shook his head like, "Yeah."
yeah, Greg Nettles. That goes back to my kid days when I was a kid. Greg Nettles came over to the Yankees, and he was a low batting average player, Greg Nettles, but he had a lot of power. He'd often hit 30 home runs or more, and he was a great fielding third baseman as well. And he had a bit of a temper on him, too. I remember the fight that Greg Nettles had with George Brett, when George Brett slid into Greg Nettles during a Kansas City Royal New York Yankees playoff series. And that ensued with a bad on-the-field fight between the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees. And also it was Greg Nettles that had that fight with Lee, the spaceman from the Red Sox, a left-handed pitcher, Lee, and Lee ended up with a dislocated arm, actually, getting into a fight with Greg Nettles during a Yankees-Red Sox brawl.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And also Greg Nettles, he's a multi-billionaire. I don't know how much he's worth, but he's a shareholder with the Yankees, so he has a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me, yeah. And his son played a little while for the Somerset Patriots, the minor league baseball team that I go to in Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Really?
And his son was on the Patriots for a little while. I don't know if his son is out of baseball now or where he is now, but he was on the Patriots for a little while. But yeah, Greg Nettles was one of my guys back when I was a young teenager. That whole lineup with Thurman Munson and Chris Chambliss and Willie Randolph and Bucky Dent and Greg Nettles, Mickey Rivers, Roy White, Reggie Jackson, the whole crowd, and Guidry and Catfish Hunter and Sparky Lyle. I can go on and on.
Man, I got all their autographs. Every person you say, I got their autograph.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I know you're a true true dyed-in-the-wool Yankee fan, and that you go to the fan fest, and that's great that you've met all those players. They're
man,
historical Yankee figures, and that is wonderful.
this is
That
years and
wonderful,
years
sure.
of collecting. You know, the one I'm missing, is I met him, but I didn't get his autograph. Is Dave Winfield.
Oh, yeah, Dave Winfield. That would be great, too. At the time, in 1980, Dave Winfield signed a contract with the Yankees for $20 million for 10 years. And at that time, in 1980, it was the largest contract. And then he and George Steinbrenner had a falling out in the late 80s, and he ended up being traded away to, I think, the Angels. Wasn't it the Angels? No, Reggie went to the Angels. I forget where Dave Winfield went.
Anaheim?
Oh, so he went to the Angels also then, because Reggie Jackson, after he left the Yankees in 1981, went to the Angels. And then Reggie Jackson eventually ended his career where he started with the Oakland A's. So
I think it might have been Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know why I see him in a red uniform. I don't know why.
I'll have to pull it up on the computer for the next podcast if we can remember. I'll check out where Dave Winfield went.
But that was a hell of a player too, man. But now though, players is hard to get now, man. Before, back in the days, say like PC Richards was opening up a new store or something, and they'll have like players there, and you can come down and you can get their autograph and stuff like that. They don't do stuff like that no more, man. It's different times, man. That's when I used to gobble all those things up, man. You know?
Exactly. My mom's second husband, Victor, he and my mom had an advertising agency in New Jersey, which was very big. I believe I've told this story before. But Victor was also nice associates with Phil Rizzuto, and they would go out to dinner occasionally. Phil Rizzuto lived right in Hillside, and so he knew Victor, who had a big advertising agency, and one of the advertising agency's clients was a place called Karsten's Clothing. And Karsten's Clothing would use Yankee players to advertise their suits and everything. So one time, Victor volunteered to drive Chris Chambliss and Willie Randolph around to different New Jersey cities like Bayonne and Jersey City and Elizabeth, and he drove them around to different clothing stores to sign autographs. And I got to go along with them. And Victor had a Lincoln Continental Mark IV. And we drove with Willie Randolph and Chris Chambliss. And I was just a young 13-year-old. It was right after the Yankees won the 77 World Series. And I got to drive in the car with them, and that was really fun. And then in 78, because he knew Phil Rizzuto, I was actually down in the Yankees clubhouse. And I'll have to show you that ball, the baseball, and I got some Yankee autographs from the 78 team.
Wow, that's cool, man. One autograph I want to get is for a goof is Jose Canseco. I missed out on him, but I want to get an autograph Jose Canseco ball, and I want to put a syringe in the ball.
Oh my goodness!
I want to have it as an art directo, you know, as an art decor, whatever you call it.
Right, right, exactly. That would be
One day I'll get it. One day I'll get him. That's what I'm gonna do with it, though.
How about speaking of a Yankee player that was controversial? Remember Jim Bouton?
Jim Bouton.
Yeah, Jim Bouton.
The name doesn't ring a bell.
He was a pitcher in the 60s, basically, Jim Bouton. And he wrote a book called Ball 4, and he revealed a lot of dirt about baseball teams and baseball players, and a lot of secrets and nasty stories that were demeaning to players.
Really? No, man. I never heard about that. I think George Steinbrenner might have bought out all the books or something like that over here in New York.
Look up Jim Bouton when you get the chance, and you'll see he wrote a book called Ball 4, and he was a very controversial Yankee. And then, of course, Sparky Lyle, right after the 78 season, wrote The Bronx Zoo, and that was about the 78 team and all of the fighting and the wild craziness that was going on in 77 and 78. Where at that time in 77, when the Yankees were fighting for the pennant, New York City was having some major problems, and the Son of Sam was running around that summer.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy time. The New York City blackout took place in 77, and the Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, the 44 caliber killer, was running around terrorizing the city, and the Bronx was in bad shape at that time, and it was a really wild time. So Sparky Lyle wrote a book called The Bronx Zoo, and it was also about the fighting between Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson and George Steinbrenner and all that stuff going on.
But you know what? A lot of people don't give a lot of credit to Jose Canseco, man, because he wrote that book as well about people doing steroids, and he's the one. He's the reason why baseball is back to neutral now. You know what I mean?
Yes, he could very well be.
He pretty much saved baseball, pretty much. You know?
He did. He did spend a little bit of time with the Yankees as well. Towards the end of his career, he spent a little bit of time playing with the Yankees, and but he was also a very big guy for sure. And all of those players like Mark McGwire and Sosa and Rafael Paul Mero and all of those players really got busted for the whole steroid era.
Yeah, I remember when he was playing with Toronto and the ball hit him in the head and went over the wall in Yankee Stadium. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that was a crazy one.
Wow,
that sure was. My goodness.
That guy was like, I mean, he was so pumped up, man. He didn't know what was going on. You know?
Exactly. And I'm going to try to find a little information about Dave Winfield for us if I can here. And we'll see what we have going on.
Yeah, Dave Winfield, man. I met him downtown. He's a nice guy, man. He definitely looks like Dave Winfield when you see him. There's no denying it. You know?
Right.
But
so he did, I believe he did go to Dave Winfield. He was born October 3rd, 1951. And he was a right fielder. He's currently special assistant to the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association. Over his 22-year career, he played for 6 teams: the San Diego Padres, New York Yankees, California Angels, Toronto Blue Jays, Minnesota Twins, and Cleveland Indians. He had the winning hit in the 1992 World Series with the Blue Jays over the Atlanta Braves. Winfield is a 12-time Major League Baseball All-Star, a 7-time Gold Glove Award winner, and a 6-time Silver Slugger Award winner. The Padres retire number 31, Winfield's number, in his honor. He also wore number 31 while playing for the Yankees and Indians, and wore number 32 with the Angels, Blue Jays, and Twins. In 2004, ESPN named him the 3rd best all-around athlete of all time in any sport. He is a member of both the Baseball Hall of Fame and the College Baseball Hall of Fame. So there's a little information for you about. He did go to the Angels right after he left the Yankees.
Yeah, and Cleveland. Yeah. That's what I thought. I said, I remember him in a blue and reddish uniform. You know,
right.
I remember the baseball cards that way.
He was with the San Diego Padres from 1973 to 1980, the New York Yankees from 1981 to 1990, the California Angels 1990 to 91. He was on the Blue Jays in 1992, and he has in 1993 and 1995 he had the Winfield dinner, so he had a long career, that's for sure, and he was definitely one of the Yankees of the 80s during the Don Mattingly era.
Yeah, definitely, man. He was a big superhero at that time, man. He was a big franchise player, man, that guy Dave Winfield. And the way he climbed the wall to snag out home runs from people. That was even bigger.
Exactly. And so far, just an update. It's the third inning, and Clevenger is also pitching for the Indians against Keuchel for the Astros, and it's scoreless still in the third inning between the Indians and the Astros as of this point.
Yeah, he's only has 34 pitches now, so it looks pretty good. 1-1 for Gomes there. So. Well, I don't know, man. They're gonna have to win this game to stay alive.
Yes, they do. They're down 2-0, and the Braves came through last night with Acuna as the youngest player to hit a Grand Slam home run, beating Mickey Mantle. Now that was announced last night.
Oh wow!
So he was the youngest player. And
did you see the Dodgers game yesterday? The Dodgers game was crazy.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
For the Braves hit
right.
And Buddy Freeman hit the go-ahead home run for the Braves, and the Braves hung on and held off the Dodgers. That was an exciting game because the Dodgers had men on first and second in the top of the ninth inning, but the Braves were able to hold them off.
Yeah. That was a great game, man, and you know what? When I was watching the game yesterday with the Braves, it feels kind of weird not to see Bobby Cox, right, as the manager.
Right.
I know he's gone for a long time now, but you're so accustomed to seeing him as the manager. You know what I mean? And it's like, who the hell is this guy? Like, you know? Yeah, but they're doing a very good job over there, man. After the
Bobby Cox was there though. He was in the booth upstairs. He wasn't doing any broadcasting. He was in like one of the suites or something, sitting upstairs as a special guest.
Yeah, and also in the Milwaukee game, Bob Uecker was up there. Did you see Bob Uecker?
Oh yeah, I believe he's still broadcasting the Brewer games. He's right around John Sterling's age. He's about 81 years old himself, and he was really celebrating with the Brewers when they won the wild card, and he was down in the visiting clubhouse, really enjoying himself quite a bit. Not the wild card. No, it was the Cubs. It was the Cubs in the wild card against the Rockies. He was down in the Brewers when they clinched the division after they beat the Cubs at the game before the wild card, and he was really celebrating like a young kid.
Yeah, and they were explaining too that the manager from the Atlanta Braves, he was when they filmed that movie Bill Durham. Back in the 80s, he was the manager at the time for Bill Durham when they filmed it over there. I was like, oh wow, man, there's a whole lot of baseball ties to this, you know.
Hold on just a minute.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm okay. I'm just talking to the BX Bomber. Okay, I'm back, and but everything is going pretty good. And so, what time are you heading over to the Yankee Stadium?
I'm gonna try to go over there by 6:30. You know.
Okay.
An hour before. You know.
I will check in with you at that time, and I'll go on your site and be one of your viewers. And definitely looking forward to it. And since we're doing that, I do have to. I think we should kind of call it now because I have to get outside and get a few things taken care of still. And
all good.
I think that we did a good podcast today, and good luck out in that crowd at Yankee Stadium. I'll be checking in with you later.
Yeah, man. Let's see if maybe we can catch a few people getting arrested or something. I don't know.
Okay. But you
well, we don't want to see anybody get arrested, but it's just a joke. But you know.
Yeah. You'd be the on-the-spot reporter out in the crowd.
Yeah, right. But I hopefully not. I really want to see a good game, but the Yankees win, and hopefully nobody gets hostile. You know, really don't want to see that nonsense, man.
No one gets hurt. No one gets hurt.
Yeah, it's really fun when you have a person with you that's from the other team and they just as passionate too. It's fun like that, you know, when it's like that.
Exactly.
But some people don't know how to take a joke or how to, you know, have a good time, you know. So
yeah, everyone just be moderate with the amount of beers you have. If you want to have some beers and have some fun, that's cool, but just don't go overboard.
Yeah, man. It sucks that the Yankees play a night game on a day off, you know, like the city has the day off today. It's Columbus Day, you know. They could have played this game at 1 o'clock or something.
Exactly. Well, you know, in the old days, they always had daytime World Series games. But, you know, now with the television and the contracts with the TV and the ratings, I mean, you can see the Houston Astros are the defending world champions. They have them on during the day. They have to have those Red Sox and Yankee games on during prime time.
I don't understand. Like they could have had the Yankees and Red Sox at 4 o'clock, you know, right after this game right here, after the other American League game, back to back, you know.
So about making money and advertising and putting the Yankees in prime time, which means that these games were just 3.5, 4 hours long between the Yankees and Red Sox at midnight, which is pretty tough for the kids.
Yeah, it sucks that the Yankees management in baseball, they don't care about the working people. People got to go to work the next day, you know, or call out sick or whatever they have to do. You know what I mean?
About advertising dollars.
Oh yeah. That's the way it is, man. But I guess we'll call it there, right?
Okay,
And
that sounds good.
This is the First Inning podcast. So calling it an end. And you want to say anything before you go?
Okay, well, I'm excited for tonight, and let's hope the Yankees can take a 2-1 lead in this series. And I'll be checking in with you later on tonight, and I'll be going on your blog later on today from Yankee Stadium.
Absolutely, and just a quick announcement: we'll be going live at 6:30 tonight, and then I'll be doing another vlog on Saturday for the Little Red Lighthouse. Check that one. Look out for that one. That's gonna be good. I do one every year. So the Little Red Lighthouse, it's the only lighthouse on the borough of Manhattan, the whole island of Manhattan. This is it's called the Little Red Lighthouse, and it's under the George Washington Bridge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they only open it once a year. So tomorrow, next Saturday is the once a year time. So we this is gonna be our third time doing it, I think, so far in a row.
Wow, that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it's cool, man. So we'll see everybody then, and so long, everybody.
So long.
Perfect.
All right, great. So I'll be checking in, and I'll be leaving messages for you. And I hope you get good views. And after you get back to your apartment, I'll give you a call during the game.
Absolutely, man. Hopefully everything works out and the Yankees could go on and win, man.
Yes, exactly. And just be careful out there, as I know you always are.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna get myself into trouble.
Right. Okay, take care.
All right, man.
I'll check in with you later.
Okay, cool. I'll talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.